Hey guys, this is Zachary Adkins from Adkins Guitar and Music Lessons, and in this video we're going to be talking about your soloing and how to build tension. So let's get right to it. Alright guys, in this video let's talk about when you're soloing, how do we create tension in your soloing. Musical tension is something that is talked about really heavily when it comes to like music theory and everything, but what does it actually mean and how do we apply it to the guitar specifically? First, let's take a look at what music tension is. Musical tension is the buildup of musical intensity that eventually dissolves and relaxes. For the listener, a moment of unrest in the music creates an expectation for its resolution and an anticipation for the drama to resolve. Tension and release keeps the music moving forward. All right, so this seems pretty straightforward. Let's say that you're watching a movie and the whole movie is just no conflict, nothing. Characters all get along, everything's fine. There's never any drama. There's never anything that they have to like overcome. There's never an obstacle that they have to beat. There's not a bad guy. There's nothing. It's just this great vanilla movie. That would be pretty horrible. Nobody would really want to watch that. Same thing with music, and especially, we're going to talk specifically about your solos. When you're building a solo, you want to think of it like you're writing a movie with notes instead of, it's an audio thing rather than a visual thing. So how do you build tension? How do you add notes? How do you add certain things that keep the listener hooked to your solo, and where you just hit that? Have you ever heard a solo where like they hit the right note at the right time and you really didn't know why, but you're like, oh man, that just was awesome. Everything about that solo was great. So chances are that they probably were implying some kind of tension and release. They were following the backtrack, or they were creating, they were adding maybe some chromatic tones in there to make the tension feel a little bit more intense. Before we continue, if you want to learn more about music theory and how it applies to the guitar, different scales, arpeggios, chromatics, everything like that, definitely check out my book, Guitar Efficiency. It's over 160 pages of exercises and warm-ups, and it even has a weekly journal in the back so you can mark your progress throughout the year. The link is down in the description below, so if you want to check that out, that'd be great. It really just helps support me and the channels. Anyway, let's jump into how we create tension using the neck. We're going to really oversimplify it in this video, and then in another video we can go a little bit further into some ideas, but I want to break down the concept of tension and release and how to build off of some stuff that you already know how to do. So let's get right to it. Let's use one string as our example here. We're going to use the B string, and we're going to start here on the 5th fret. Now let's say that your whole goal is to end your solo, or just the lick, whatever you want to call it. You want to end it at the octave, right here. Okay? So you have to go from here. So we look at that as our beginning and our end, right? Beginning and the end. And you can go the opposite direction too, but for this we're just going to focus on an ascending pattern. We need to add stuff in between these two notes in order to build tension. So if I just add one note right here, which would be the 15th fret of the B, it added just a little bit of tension. It kept me from, it basically delayed the inevitable until I got to that note. And even just something small like that can help make it feel like you're building on something, okay? Now let's add a couple more notes. All I've added was the 12th fret here. Just a little bit more tension. Let's add another note. Adding that 10th fret here, we've actually got 4 out of the 5 notes to building a pentatonic scale on one string. Basically, your body and your ears are telling you like, okay, he's gonna hit that note, he's gonna hit it. And then I just keep delaying it. And that's how we build tension, okay? Let's add some more notes in here. Right there, I added the major 7th, and that adds just that extra bit of like, all right, he's totally gonna end it like this. But then I go, and it's just a little bit extra crunch. So let's add some more tones. If I add in, say, a few of these that aren't in the pentatonic, but the regular minor scale, even more tension is built. If I add some notes that are non-diatonic, so now diatonic means that we're going to stay within 7 tones. So technically we broke the rule by adding that major 7th here. That's our regular minor scale. That's all diatonic, everything's fine. Now if we want to add a little more tension, we can start adding in those chromatic tones that are non-diatonic, which means they don't fit within that framework. But that doesn't mean that you can't use those notes. It just means you got to use them a little more carefully. And I'm going to make another video about that as well. But you're just going to add a little more tension here by, again, we'll add that 7th tone. Let's add some more notes. Let's add this one here. Just feels like it's taking longer and longer and longer to resolve, right? Because we got the tension and then the resolution. And then you can just start adding all of the chromatic notes in there. That's one of the longest delays of resolution that you can have, is just by adding those all chromatic tones. What you can do now is once you've established that all of these notes are available to you, you just have to use them carefully, you can start doing patterns that still delay the inevitable. So now I'm not saying that that's a great solo, but it proves the point of tension and resolution. So this, again, this is going horizontally across the neck, but you can do this going vertically too. Let's say that you wanted to end your phrase with this, and you're starting here. So maybe I'll go, dancing around the area that you're trying to establish a resolution with is going to help you create more tension and create more exotic playing. Right? Delay the inevitable and start adding in those little bit of things, those little bit of extra notes inside of your playing. Like if you're playing a scale, you're doing something like that, maybe add some extra notes that you wouldn't think to. You don't have to worry about the theory on that. Just start adding notes that maybe are outside of that diatonic box of this. What could we add? We could add up here maybe even just a little bit. Anyway, I hope that this helps to where you can start looking at your solos pieced out like a movie that needs some conflict and some resolution at the right time. And if you can do that, I think that it's going to instantly improve your playing. be smart about the choices you make for those notes. You know, not every chromatic note that is non-diatonic is created equal to some of the others, but I think that in essence, if you can start delaying what you want the listener to hear, you're going to create that little bit more tension while they're listening and keep them hooked a little bit longer. All right, guys, that was my look into how to build a little bit more tension on the neck. Again, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. And also, if you want to learn more about music theory, my book, Guitar Efficiency, the link is down in the description below. Definitely pick that up. It helps support the channel. So we'll see you guys in the next video.